Hello and welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John, where in each episode we'll stroll down the Macintosh memory lane. We'll discuss older Macintosh computers, collecting all things related to the Mac and Apple computer, and current topics from the perspective that only a couple of old Mac fans can provide.
Wouldn't it be nice if the intro said, and now here's James and John. I have to re-record it to say that.
That's it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that would be a little cooler.
Fortunately, you know the voice actress who.
I might be able to get her back in the studio. She winces every time she happens to hear that.
Oh, I love it.
You know, it's worked all this time.
Yeah.
Why change it?
Considering those were recorded how many years ago now?
I don't know, late 80s? I don't know, something like that. It's been a long time. Feels like it.
So you're saying is you had the plan to do this a long time ago, and you're just waiting to find somebody named John who is into Mac stuff to help you with this.
It didn't make any sense at the time. I couldn't talk about old Macs until they were actually old, and so I planted this. I had this idea.
You were retro ahead of the time. Yes.
I figured John was the most common name, so the likelihood that my co-host would be named John was the highest.
That's right. Yeah.
And then, just had to wait.
And then you found me living under that bridge, and the rest is history.
Yeah. Someday you come out from under the bridge. Someday. All right. We're back. Good to see everybody in the chat. We got a nice full show today, complete with guests and everything. You know, we used to do guests on the show. We'd have these canned interviews, and it's so much different now when it's live interaction. And plus, not only the live, but the video aspect in general, right? Because now I can, when we have Jimmy on later, we'll show some photos from his travels, and it's this whole interactive experience. We got to figure out how to get onto this the VR thing. We need to do that somehow so that you can be sitting here in either or both our rooms, right? In VR. I think that's what we have to do. Look into that. Maybe we can start that next week. I don't know. I know you got to get some glasses or something. I know we've already got glasses, so we should be all right. But somehow we need to figure out the VR thing. That's where we're going. That's where everybody's going, into the Metaverse, right? If you haven't heard. I know that you, John, I'm in the Metaverse.
Is that's the what Facebook is trying to yeah.
All right. Let's start the show for real. Enough silliness.
All right,
what?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Disregard.
Well, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I wonder what PR firm they paid a lot of money for them to come up with the term Metaverse.
Who did they coin that? They didn't coin that term. They just decided they were the first to name their company. I don't know who coined the term Metaverse. Yeah. Okay. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John. This is episode 617 for July 3rd, 2022. Good morning, John.
Good morning, James.
It is the July 4th weekend for those of us in the United States. I know. Sorry, Jeremy. I don't know what you guys do on this day. What do you call? What's the opposite when you lose a colony? Scarlett says, I think Metaverse comes from the 1993 novel Snow Crash. Oh, really? Interesting. And it means what it means today, that they foresaw the future of technology. Interesting. Make fun of America's Day. That's isn't that every day though? I mean, do you have to have a special day for that? Honestly, I don't think so, I guess. All right. Well, let's see. What do we got planned for today? Oh, Jimmy Gruel's going to stop by. Jimmy sold one of his Apple Ones recently. And that's a good story from beginning to end. I'm going to talk about that Apple One. So we'll see when he pops in later, and we'll bring him in. Yes, that book was about a virtual reality world. So there you go. Metaverse goes back to the 1993 novel Snow Crash. Snow Crash would have been a better name for the Metaverse, I think. Maybe that was the code word. I don't know. Okay, let's go away for a bit and come back with some eBay finds. All right.
So, Trina, happy.
Yeah, I love it. I love we got
Day.
people doing research. Did you know that, Scott Swordfish,
Nope.
off the top of your head? No. We need a team of researchers here that can Google. Okay. Let's start in 3, 2, 1. It's time for the eBay finds. Last week we had 3 auctions. We usually have 3 auctions. We began with this booklet, or actually it was a set of booklets. You can pick one. The Apple Facts little monthly pamphlets were available. There's a variety of them ranging from, I guess, 92 October to January 1998, and the buyer wanted $29.99 each. As about now, a little steep. I went through the archives, and voila, I found a few of these things.
Oh, nice. Very good.
I know I have a huge stack of them. I did come across a couple of them. I was flipping through this earlier. Oh, by the way, did any of these sell? I don't think so. Looks like the list is still pretty complete. So, yeah. But these things, this is the 594.
Can you just like show us a page on the inside?
Yeah. A page.
Just there you
go. Well, so it's like so this is what the point of this thing was. It was for dealers, for salespeople, right? That they would carry this thing. You can stick it in, it's very pocketable. Stick it in your pocket, and it has all of the information of the entire product line.
Wow.
Of the company, right? So you have Apple software, desktop computer systems, portable computers, printers and imaging, personal interactive electronics, interesting, networking connectivity, and quick charts. And so, it's a handy reference guide, and it has the kind of language that you should know, like under Apple software. Under System Software, System 7 Pro. System 7 Pro features 3 new system software enhancements: PowerTalk, AppleScript, and QuickTime 1.61, giving you all the benefits of the Macintosh System 7 operating system. And it breaks down kind of all the key new technologies, and then
that's really neat. Wow. Yeah, that's that has got a lot of information in there.
It does. And one of the things I thought you started doing this, right, is put up little placards around your computers that have
just kind of some basic information. Yeah, I don't have one within.
I haven't done that yet.
Range.
It's one of the things that's been on my list for about 15 years now, so it's getting near the top. But this has some great information if you were to make one of those placards, right? This one says Macintosh LC475, for example. And it says, at a glance, the Macintosh LC475 is Apple's most affordable Macintosh that features a Motorola 68040 processor. It's a powerful, flexible system that can grow as your needs change, offering color capability and a wide variety of monitor options in a slimline design.
Nice.
Color capability. We're still talking about 94. They're still
just want to make sure. Yeah.
And so you got all the different computer models, and where there were a lot. That's like there's 80 pages of all the different Macs that they were selling at the time, and the displays. I'm going to go to personal. We should have done a whole segment on this. I'm dragging out this eBay auction listing here. I was going to see the personal interactive electronics. Going to the printers.
So I'm assuming that's going to be maybe the Pippin or the Newton, or.
Well, maybe. There's the QuickTake 100. That's not in that system.
Very nice.
But
Very
no,
nice.
but here, so you got personal interactive electronics there. Aha, there you go. So there's your Newton Message Pad 100. The Newton Message Pad 100 Communications Assistant integrates Apple's Newton Intelligence technology in a handheld communications device that intelligently assists you as you capture, manage, and communicate information, no matter where you are. Key features, and then the quick charts at the back kind of just give you tables of like all the different computers, and you can compare and contrast and whatever. So yeah, ton of information.
Cool. Right.
Very cool. Your all-in-one guide to Apple hardware and software products and accessories. All right, that was longer than I intended to be, but $29.99. All right, let's move on. Last week we also had the 1987 Apple computer logo employee-only Christmas crystal glass bell that's still available for buy now of $499, or you can make an offer. The magazine Fortune that features a styling Saved by the Bell type Steve Jobs with the ever nerdy Bill Gates. The future of the PC has been relisted at a starting bid of $59. They released this thing, knocked it down to $45, and it's sold after one bid for $45. So they've set the price. Okay. Let's go to this. This is a sign. The title says Apple Macintosh Neon Tubes Light Sign, Vintage, Working Rare. And what else does it say? It says, I have never seen a similar one. It was mounted on a plexiglass base and has, there's a lot of broken English here. Let's see. It has the original power supply. It is closed in a wooden frame. The letter P is a little less bright. One of the P's, I guess. So I love signs.
Right.
Especially vintage signs, of some kind of official provenance.
There's no way, however, that this was an official.
Is that your assessment?
Oh my goodness, that leaf. What's is it fall and that leaf is blowing away? What's going on with that leaf?
Yeah, I kind of doubt this would have left or satisfied the quality
any sort of
criteria
quality control
of anybody that
whatsoever.
represented Apple. Yeah, so you've got the words Apple, and it's I guess it's a Garamond kind of font, sort of, as much as you can do with
it's a
glass.
Well, it's very hard to do serif fonts with
yes, very
with
hard.
neon. Yeah,
you got to use like a different gas, maybe I don't know, helium. Maybe you can do a serif font with helium.
Times New.
And then it's got the Apple logo, just an outline with the fruit and then the leaf. And there's some depth to the boxes. You got the glass tubes, and it's just I guess it's there's color to it, right? Because the apple's in blue and the lettering is in blue and the logo itself is in red, and it's got some age on it. You look at that power supply, and it looks like it's seen some years.
Oh yeah.
It almost looks like, I'm guessing this is like maybe.
I'm guessing. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm betting this was done like a store that was selling like a local mom and pop sort of store that was selling Apple stuff.
Yeah, and they had it just done.
Yeah.
Overseas, because this is coming to you from Italy. So yeah, probably either an Uber fan or like you said, a store overseas has probably made it. But they want a princely sum. Buy it now, $950, or you can make an offer. I don't know. It's not that, it's not a legit authorized sign, but it's not that bad. I'm not sure it's $950.
I mean, just that leaf though, that would bother the heck out of me.
Yeah,
it's just way too offset. I mean,
I don't know if there's a. Yeah, it looks like it's all tied.
There's no fix together. For that. No.
You'd have to melt it and pull it in or something. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
It has some charm.
No sale by John.
Let's just say that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So speaking of princely sums, next up we have a Macintosh Color Classic, professionally restored with the Apple IIe card and a loaded SCSI to SD. This is, and it's got the nice big old keyboard too, as the keyboard for it. It comes with a 5 1/4 inch floppy. Let's see what else is in the list. All right. It comes with the, of course, with the mouse. Sony. All right. I'm trying to see what the. Okay. So that's an external 2x speed SCSI to portable CD player. So CD-ROM. So it actually has a small SCSI CD-ROM that it comes with. And it has the very important Apple IIe Y cable. So, to hook up that 5 1/4 inch floppy. And, of course, you can also hook up an Apple II joystick to that. So great thing there. So princely sum. Yeah, this is a great system. It is. They are asking for $2,299. Wow. I mean, even professionally restored, that seems a little pricey to me. It does have a make an offer, but I've seen just good, clean color classic, which was this thing does look clean. Go for $400 or $500. So having a professionally restored, I'm sure cost some money. There's a ton of parts to recap the analog board and these things, because I have one of the kits and I have yet to do it because it looks quite daunting. So I mean, if you've got the money, it's probably worth it. It would definitely be out of my price range. And yeah, there's some great pictures of it running Apple IIe software. I see that it shows it running the oh goodness, the name escapes me, for the game.
Mm-hmm.
The group of games for the Apple II.
The group of games, yes.
All right, so yeah, let me find that first picture.
You talk about this picture? I don't know.
Total Replay. Thank you. Yeah, Total Replay.
Total Replay. So what's total?
So Total Replay is a 32 meg disk image for the Apple IIs that's got hundreds of games rolled into it by one of the guys that goes to Kansas Fest. I don't know if he wants his name said or not, but it's a fantastically curated and put together game package. Yeah,
you can't tell this is running using the Total Replay package, but
you can, because the very first picture shows the splash screen for Total Replay. Yeah,
I see.
So all the way over to the left. If you wanted to show that, don't worry about it.
Okay. I'm already worried about it.
There you go. Total Replay.
Screen,
that is the splash screen for Total Replay. Yeah.
So obviously the seller knows their way in and out of
sure,
world, and they've prepared a very nice package for you.
Right. Because that means that they were able to format the drive to have the two ProDOS partitions.
Yeah.
They were able to. Yeah. So I mean, this. With it being totally refurbished and everything, this should last you a good long time.
All right.
And provide hours of fun.
Hopefully. Okay. Well, there's a make an offer. Okay. I'm going to move to the next one, but we're going to take a slight pause because let me add Jimmy to the stream. There he is.
Morning, guys.
Hey, good morning. We're going to do one more auction that we're talking about, and then we're gonna go right to you. So stand by or join us or whatever. The last auction we're going to talk about is the rare vintage Apple Macintosh 2. Well, they throw that all in the title, but obviously that's not right. It's the Apple II carrying bag, the carrying case. Actually, this is good that you jumped in, Jimmy, because maybe you know some about this. There was some chat in, I think, the Vintage Macintosh Facebook group the other day. They were talking about this thing. Somebody had one, and they were asking about the authenticity of it. There was a lot of back and forth about whether or not this was actually an authorized or Apple made or sponsored or whatever.
Really? Wow.
Bag. I always thought it was.
Yeah.
And there's always this mystery about it too, because there's variations on it. There's this one that's being sold. They want a buy it now of $240 for it. This one has the carrying the strap. It doesn't have the rivets on the handles, and it most significantly it has a bite out of the Apple logo. That's what most people notice is the big difference, because there is another one circling around that looks like this that has no bite. Now, somebody in the chat was saying that these came out first, and somebody from Apple was like, hey, we can't, that will not stand. All Apple.
There's something missing
products.
by something not missing.
Yeah. And so they ceased these things. So these are the ones that are worth, I think, more than the Apple One you sold, Jimmy. Frankly, I think.
Yeah, really? Well, I've got one of those, so maybe I should get those.
Yeah.
One of that on.
I will sell this to you for $100,000.
Oh,
Actually,
wow.
I've seen them on eBay. I've seen them on eBay where they say such things, that it's super rare. But what do you know, Jimmy, about this one?
See, I don't know much about whether they were sold by Apple. They fit the Apple II perfectly. I have this similar one, as you mentioned, without the bite, that came with the early Apple II that I bought a couple years ago.
Uh-huh.
It seems to have been common for people who bought Apple IIs in the very early days to get those. And I recently saw something a couple weeks ago when I was in California. I met an Apple employee. Actually, Chris Espinoza has an Apple III carrying case that looks exactly the same, but it's perfectly sized for the Apple III, and that's what his Apple III is kept in.
Wow. And so it looks like the same manufacturer, it's kind of the same style?
Same style, same color, but the sizing is perfect for the Apple III.
Amazing.
That better have had a reinforced carrying handle for the Apple III, I have to say.
Yeah.
I'm showing a picture here of the bottom of it. That's the other difference. What I think is the later one with the bite also has little feet, whereas the original one does not have the feet. Yeah. So, well, anyway, $240 is what they want for this. There is a make an offer. All right. We're gonna end that segment and we're gonna transition to Jimmy. Let's I'm gonna hit the record button here. And how much time you got to share with us? We gotta.
Yeah, I got some time.
Okay.
I'm at a winery just on the foothills on the lava slope of Vesuvius outside of Naples.
Oh my gosh! All right. Well,
so if you have until this thing erupts, and then you'll know that in 2,000 years when they find the shadow of the dude holding an iPhone, that'll be me.
Awesome. All right, let's start recording in 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're pleased to have Jimmy Gruhl join us again. This time to share with us the experiences of his recent Apple One sale. So you just said it for the live audience, but say it for our. Oh, I was like I thought the Vesuvius.
I'm here.
I was just saying how you're here to talk about the whole saga of your Apple One sale.
Right.
And you're joining us from where? Say it again.
I'm in Italy at a winery just outside of Pompeii on the lava slope.
Oh.
Oh no. So that's what happens when you have a live. Yes.
Sorry.
On the lava slope.
On a lava slope, just on the base of Mount Vesuvius at a winery. I'm on a family holiday for the summer.
Sounds lovely. Well, thanks for taking time out of your holiday to join us.
My pleasure.
This picture here shows you modeling the Apple One. I think this is. Oh, this isn't the one. This is the one you're keeping, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, picture. That's the one that's staying with me. But the two, the one I sold and the one I'm keeping, are extremely similar. They were both assembled at the very tail end of Apple One production. Both were assembled by Dan Kotke. Some of the last products built in the garage before they moved to an office in Cupertino, and they were both owned by the same owner. So they look very similar to each other.
So did you acquire them at the same time then?
No, surprisingly, I acquired them with a 3-year gap, but the exact same method of acquisition from the same seller via Christie's private sale. I didn't at the time that I bought the first one. They had not even tried to auction that. They thought it was in such poor condition that it wasn't worthy of auctioning, and
Mhm.
so they sold it to me privately. That was in early 2018. And then in 2019, the family found another one that their father had purchased, which is the one I recently auctioned. And they tried to auction it on Christie's. They didn't put any effort into restoring it, and it wasn't in great condition at the time, and it didn't meet reserve. And then COVID hit,
Yeah.
and things went quiet. And then they came back to me late last year and said, "By the way, we still have this board. Are you interested?" So I made them an offer that I thought they would refuse, but eventually they came back and accepted it. Um, and so I decided to restore both and then make a decision. I had no intention of keeping both. I knew for sure one was going to get sold. It was just a matter of which one and how it would be sold and when and for how much.
Now, both of these got autographed by the creator, and you can see in the picture here, this one they were autographed in different spots. So the one you kept has "was" written there at the top of the circuit board, and then the one you sold, he signed the processor, right?
Yeah, that's right. So I took 3 computers for him to see when he came to Dubai in November of last year. I took both Apple Ones, and I took the early Apple II that I have. And I took it, if you can see, the Apple One is sitting on that leather case that we were just talking about in that photo
Nice.
that you've got up on the screen. So I carried the Apple II in its case,
Oh
in
yeah.
this other carry case. And I got him to sign. Those are the 3 products that I got him to sign. Everyone else who was there was only like 30 people at this event. Everyone else was getting their iPhone signed.
Oh no.
Hence his enthusiasm. Yeah.
That's so funny.
One guy tried to get him to autograph his Samsung phone.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Did he?
I couldn't bear to watch. I just,
Wow. Well, so
that was
what was this event? How did this come to be?
Oh,
And did you know this was coming before you decided to sell the Apple one?
I found out the day before. No. So yes, I knew that I was buying this Apple One, and it was one of them was going to be sold. Most likely the one that I was buying at the time. I had just received it like 3 or 4 days earlier, and then it was after I received it, the day before this event where this photo was taken, that I got wind of this event and that he was in town. And someone reached out to me who was an organizer of the event, said, "Oh, we know that you're interested in this stuff. Would you like to meet him? Why don't you come?" And he was in town because he's partnered with a company that does. I don't really understand exactly what they do, but basically they go to businesses and help them become more energy efficient with their lighting and air conditioning and heating and all that kind of stuff. And they finance their projects by issuing coins, cryptocurrency, and they've issued a coin called WASX. That's the ticker symbol for it.
Mhm.
So I'm not really big on crypto or any of that stuff, so I don't really understand it. I choose not to. But he was there to speak at a small event for them, and there was, like I said, there was only 30 people there, and there's all these people trying to get their iPhones and one Samsung phone signed. And I showed up and pulled this stuff out of my bag, and I think he was a little surprised, as you can see in that picture. It was not what he was expecting at all.
Right. Oh, he was truly delighted. It was amazing and great that you got it on video too. Oh my gosh. In the video, he just says, "Oh my God," and smiles and did you guys talk at all? Was there any other words that were exchanged?
We spoke a little bit. There's also video when I showed him the Apple II. The Apple II that I have, at some point he had scratched his name in the base plate. So there's actually like with a screwdriver or something. So it had already been technically signed by him.
Oh my
but
gosh.
at some time in the past. And then I got him to sign the top lid. And he was talking a little bit about the injection mold, those cases that were foam on those early Apple IIs.
right.
And problems they had, and how when they
Uh-huh.
came from the factory, they were still a little soft, and so they warped a bit. And when they assembled them, Dan Kotke had to use a file to get the keyboards to fit sometimes, and to get the lids to fit correctly, and they were a disaster. And then finally, a couple months later, they got injection molded cases from Asia, from Taiwan, I think he said. So there was a little backstory that he provided on that. I ended up
See.
chatting more with his wife, who was there as well, Janice. And she used to work at Apple, so she's telling me about her experiences working at Apple, which is also quite interesting.
Hmm. Well, so after that, some point you just decided, well, you're going to sell it, and then, but you had to make the decision of how to sell it, right? Because you had gotten it to the Christie's private sale, and now it's restored, right? Now, isn't it Christie's worthy at this point, or what was the thought process there?
Yeah, so there was interest from the traditional auction houses. The thing is that that was actually the route that I was going to go. But when I started to think about what would be involved in actually having a successful auction, in terms of marketing the product, photographing it, getting awareness out in the media, getting coverage, the costs involved, the fees, I realized that the stuff that I was going to pay the traditional auction houses for was stuff that I could do and that I actually would enjoy doing.
Hmm.
So I was going to pay them. So their fees typically are, they take 10% from the seller of the hammer price, and they put a 25% premium on the hammer price that the buyer pays. So that's more than a 30% spread. Whereas eBay charges like 2.3% above $7,500. So I have a friend from when I worked at Microsoft who was at eBay. I reached out to him and said, "Is this something you guys would be interested in working with me on?" And they jumped at it, and they were fantastic. I mean, they went all out to support the auction, to make sure it went as smoothly as possible, both for me and for people who were bidding. Reaching out to media, they organized an event at their headquarters in San Jose for media to attend. They invited all their employees in the Bay Area to come and see a bit of my collection, some of the computers I brought with me, and then their CEO, who's pictured in this photo, also came out and spent about 20 minutes with me talking about my collection and my interests and what my experiences were like working with his team. So this was a couple of days before the auction ended.
Wow.
I
That's
I
awesome.
love the display, how you displayed it. I love that kind of that thick butcher block sort
Yeah.
of wood slab you've got it on, and yeah,
Mhm.
everything is mounted to it. It just looks so nice.
Yeah, the idea was, well, it started out that I just wanted a way to keep everything together and not to put strain on all the cables. So I'd just gotten a piece of plywood to start with once I'd finished restoring the board and I was assembling the system to start testing it as a system. And then I was working with a friend. He said, "Listen, why don't we do it right?" So he said, "Let me handle this." And he brought me this incredible slab of Brazilian walnut, and he also cut the risers for the keyboard, and then the little box at the top left on the right back
Mhm.
that was used for housing the power switch and the toggle lamp, the power lamp. I thought that was fantastic. So it started to look the part, and yeah, so then we pretty quickly decided this is the way we were going to present it and sell it. I mean, it just seemed to work for us. We thought
Yeah.
at one point about building a case,
Uh-huh.
but that didn't seem authentic. That seemed like we were trying too hard to make
Yeah.
something that wasn't there with this computer to begin with.
And besides, whoever's going to get this is going to want to display it, and so you've got something that's, I mean, it's ready. It's ready to, even if they don't hook it up to a monitor, it's ready to just put on a wall just as is. I mean, it's such a beautiful piece.
Oh yeah, I mean, I sold it ready to go with the monitor, with all the power cables tested, wired up, and it was shipped in a shipping case, at a Pelican case that had everything
Nice.
set up. So I didn't disassemble any of it. It's ready. You can just pull it out of the box and power it up and go. And in addition, I included there's a guy in Italy who's made this great expansion card that has an EEPROM with all of the known Apple One software on it, including
Oh.
basic interpreter and stuff like that. So it makes it very easy to run. So the system has been restored in such a way that it can be run, and it can be run for good lengths of time. While I was in the Bay Area during the auction, it ran for 2 days a row for 8 to 10 hours each day during
Great.
demo.
Wow.
So one was an event eBay, and another was an event that I'm not allowed to talk about.
That didn't make you nervous, like putting it through all this use and
Oh, hell
traveling around since it was up
Yes,
for
I was
auction?
nervous. I was continuously looking at it, making sure that, reaching over, trying to tell if anything was overheating,
Yeah.
making sure that there's a little fan mounted on that wooden board, making sure that that fan was working, looking for any sign that it's about to start smoking.
Yeah, fire extinguisher ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, these things weren't super reliable and robust the day they were built, and now all of these components are well past their prime. So it really isn't something you would want to run continuously every day and day in, day out. But on occasion, yes, I think you could confidently operate this one.
Right. Well, it did sell eventually for $340,100.
Yep.
So what are you pleased with? I mean, you always want more, right?
Yeah.
And you've seen the historical numbers, but but those numbers.
I wasn't expecting to get those numbers on eBay.
Really? Okay.
All those numbers include the buyer's premium, and so I'll tell you, I'll be straightforward in terms of what I expected. This auction had no reserve, and we started bidding at 99 cents. But had there been a reserve, it would have been $250K. Okay.
Okay. There you go.
300 was what I was hoping to get. 400 was my stretch goal. And it turned out there was someone who was trying to bid at that level who had trouble bidding. But I exceeded my goal. I'm very happy with the result. Working with eBay was fantastic. And the great thing is that I get to keep all that money. I don't have to part with 35% of it. Whereas that I work with an auction house, they would have slapped their 25% on, and they would have taken 10% from me. So, and it turned out that the person who bought it is someone I already knew, who's a collector of Apple IIs and early Macs, and he has an Apple One already. So this is his second. So it's gone to a great home with someone who's experienced and knows how to look after these things, and so the outcome couldn't have been better, I think.
Sounds like it. And do you know what their plans are for? Are they going to be able to display it in a way that, like you've been doing for your collection, or what? They just
at the
they're
moment,
just their private use.
It's going to be on display in their house for their own private use. But I think he has some plans at some point to do something more. But not at the moment, as far as I know, it's just for his private collection.
Got it. Well, you can always.
I hopefully will be able to use some of this money to create a more public space, because look, you guys have your collections in your homes, and there is a way for people to experience them, which is every week to tune into the live YouTube stream and to see them and enjoy them that way. I don't even have that option for people. They have to come physically or look at my Instagram channel to see the occasional photo. So I want to do something more, and also, as you guys know, collecting old Apple products, it requires continuous effort and investment. If not just for the electronics, but for the plastics and the accessories and documents. I take it as a responsibility. I don't consider myself to be the owner of these products. I consider myself more to be like a custodian, that they're in my safekeeping, and I would like them to remain at or in a better condition than when I got them throughout the time that they're with me. And I want them to survive beyond my possession of them. And that's not easy to do, and it requires continuous investment. So some of this money will be used to do that, and some will be to do sort of public pop-up exhibitions.
Nice. Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, you did that pop-up exhibition not long ago, which you're talking about the fragility of all this, holding these things around to pop-up exhibitions is probably the last thing that you should be doing to protect these things. So I know one time you talked about more of a location where you could have the public come, and more of a museum type of thing.
Right.
Is that still something that you're considering?
The thing is that all museums lose money. And as much as I'm not looking to make profit, I'm not looking to lose money. So it'd have to be a partnership with someone or some entity that has some other way of covering the cost of keeping the lights
Yeah.
on, providing security and insurance and stuff like that.
Right.
I'm hoping to visit in the next year some of the other Apple-centric and computer-centric museums, especially Europe seems to have quite a few, and just see to understand what they've done and what works and what doesn't work before I go down this road. And then try to figure out what is a sustainable model. Because what I don't want is that I create something, and then after a couple of years, it falls apart, and not only is the public space gone, but the collection is gone. The Apple Museum in Prague has disappeared, and that was the best Apple Museum. And then I'm also hopeful that someone maybe if I can't find a way to do it in Dubai, maybe someone will do something in Cupertino. I mean, it's surprising to me that there's no Apple Museum in the Bay Area. Of all the places that there should be a spot for people to go and experience this, you would think that would be the place, but there's nothing like it.
Now there is the Computer History Museum, and they do have a fair amount of Apple stuff. But you'd think
Yeah,
that
they have about
could
a
devote.
dozen. Yeah, I was just there. They
Yeah.
have about a dozen computers on display, but in their collection, they have a huge collection. They just don't have space to display it. I mean, they have that early Mac prototype in the clear case with the Apple II 5.25-inch floppy drive, and it's in a warehouse on a shelf gathering dust just because they don't have the space to display it. Now everything's well maintained there. They have a bunch of retired tech people who work there and maintain the collection, including some very early Apple employees, but. Still, it would be preferable for it to be in a space where a lot of people can experience it, and not just like see, but use it. Right? Run HyperCard. I mean, HyperCard's amazing. The only way to know that it's amazing is to use it.
Yes.
Like all the other products, software that was running then.
Well, I guess to keep track of your progress towards that goal, you could follow Jimmy on Instagram. Here's the Apple AAPL collection on Instagram. He's got a lot of great photos, like you said, there. And I think we'll let you go. Get back to your vacation. You need to sample some wine or do something there. But thank you very much for joining us.
No, I just want to get the hell off this volcano.
All right. Well,
they're like, oh, this volcano typically is used to erupt approximately every 20 years, and it's been 70 years since the last eruption.
Oh my gosh. Makes you nervous. Yeah.
The world's got so many problems. I figured it would be just perfect for this to happen while I'm here too.
It's kind of like operating your Apple One, during the auction. It's just you're just nervous the whole time.
I'm using up all my lives.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Jimmy.
And
we'll
see you
hopefully
guys.
talk again soon. All right. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Nice. You wanna? Can you go ahead and put the URL into the chat? Apple.
Oh yeah. All right. That was great. We're gonna move to the news now. Let's see. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Okay, it's time for the news. Over on Gizmodo Australia, they have Apple's 12 most embarrassing product failures. Let's see if John can guess some of these. I'm going to give you the first one, get you started.
Okay.
Apple Newton. Okay, they say that is a huge failure. Yeah, didn't do as well.
All right, so let me. So I'm going to guess they're going to talk about the Apple III.
Okay, you got one. All right, I'll give you that one.
I'm going to guess the hockey puck mouse.
There you go.
For some reason, I've seen it on these before, and I don't agree. Is the cube?
That's on the list. Good. Lisa's not on the list. That's
really okay.
Yeah, that would be a big one to miss on the list.
What about the TAM?
TAM is on the list.
Okay, yeah. See, it's we see these lists come up actually pretty often. It's like they must poo-poo those things, and so maybe they didn't sell right, but I mean, come on, the Cube is not a failure. It was gorgeous. It was just a little overpriced.
A little, yeah. Especially
for so what else is on the list?
Non-expandable for a professional level desktop. Apple III, we were just talking about that. right?
You
Apple
want to scroll
3.
through them?
No, I wasn't. I was just gonna.
Oh, okay. All right.
If people want to go read the whole article,
Okay.
they can do that. That's over on Gizmodo Australia. So Apple 3, Copeland, which was going to be the modern
Oh, right,
operating
right.
system. So that's a product failure that wasn't actually a
It was
product.
never even launched. Yeah,
Yeah, so that's
just
not fair.
mhm.
iPod Hi-Fi, the stereo, the speakers, very expensive. Air Power, which I guess that didn't even come out. I think that was the charging mat or whatever for the iPhone. The butterfly keyboard, that's a part of a product. I mean, that's sort of a weird thing.
It was a pretty bad keyboard, though, I have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
iTunes Ping. Remember Ping? That was their attempt in the early days of social
Yeah, okay,
media
yeah. That
and
one
whatever.
I would agree with. Yeah.
Macintosh TV.
That one, yeah, because the fact
Mhm.
that you could only use it as one or the other versus like, what was it, a year later when they had the TV tuner card and you could have the
Yeah.
TV picture down in the corner? Yeah. Yes. If it's not on there, it should be. Kroisk mentioned the whole U2 on every iPod. Remember when Apple made you download that U2 album?
Oh, well, that was a
It
blunder, but
would
that was
just
a
do it.
product. Yeah, that was certainly a bad public relations thing.
Oh
That's
my
like you're
gosh!
holding it wrong. There's a whole other list of
Right? Oh yeah.
fiascos.
Yeah, that would definitely fiasco. That's a great word for that. Yes.
But I would have added on the list the like iconic things that were just beat up in the press. iPod socks was another one that there was no love for the iPod socks. All right. And here's a bit of good news. A long time coming. The Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is the nation's highest civilian honor, will be presented posthumously to Steve Jobs by President Biden. And we scroll down here. They've got a big press release on the White House website. The Steve Jobs died 2011, was the co-founder, chief executive, and chair of Apple Incorporated, CEO of Pixar, and held a leading role at the Walt Disney Company. His vision, imagination, and creativity led to inventions that have and continue to change the world, the way the world communicates, as well as transforming the computer, music, film, and wireless industries. So he's getting this along with, I think, 16 other people. They're going to do a presentation at the White House on July 7th. So next week. I wonder who's going to, if anybody is going to accept on his behalf. Will his widow be there? Don't know. It'd be nice to see. Maybe you think Biden will ask him to ask whoever's there to get his iPhone signed, or a Samsung phone, as it were. So that's a nice little bit of news. And this is in the news, but I forgot to bring this up. We were talking about the Apple II carrying case earlier. We were talking about the authenticity, and it wasn't an Apple product. And then it reminded when we talked about the Computer History Museum that I did find the Computer History Museum does have a listing of the Apple II carrying case, and they say it was manufactured by Apple Computer. Now,
Okay.
probably wasn't made by them. I'm sure they didn't have a factory.
Sure.
But I mean, it was
Right. But it was
authorized
officially
and
licensed. Yeah.
Right. So, if you believe that, there it is. So that gives you some indication that it was actually official. Okay. Oh, I was just talking about that, and I didn't have it on the. Was it on the screen? Was I showing this?
No, it was not.
Oh, okay, there it is. This is the search. It's kind of hard to find stuff. You type Apple II carrying case, and those are the best keywords. And of course, you can bring up all kinds of stuff comes up, but you do get a few hits, including this. So there's the artifact detail. It's nice that they have like their their database of stuff, I think.
Yeah. Especially if
online.
they have like Jimmy was saying, they've got so much stuff that they don't have the space to display.
Shows the lot number, who gave it to them. Nice little photo. This is what I need.
No, yeah, right. Yes,
I need
as
to
much
set up
stuff as
something
you've
like
got
this. Yeah.
stashed away. Mhm.
Oh my gosh, that'd be kind of fun though. I could maybe put this online and go through. And this is like the minimum amount of data. I'd probably take some better high res photos than just this.
Sure.
This is
Yeah,
like
yeah. You need to have it displayed better.
This grainy shot of looks like
Yeah,
a
I mean, because
mugshot.
you would think they would do like a temporary layout to show it in this like proper setting.
I like
So you
the
get basically a virtual museum aspect
yeah,
to
right.
it. Would be very nice if they did that. Yeah.
I like how the number here is like individually cut letters. It looks
Yeah.
like a ransom
Right.
note or something. Okay, let's do the outro in 3, 2, 1. Well, our thanks to Jimmy Gruhl for joining us, sharing with us his awesome odyssey of the Apple One and its sale. Hopefully, he'll find a way for a sustainable way of sharing all of his collection with the world. Next week, we'll be back. We've got 1 week where we're both back to talk about something TBD. We'll figure it out later. Of course, we'll do the usual stuff. And then the week after that, John goes on his journey to Vintage Computer Festival Southeast. What's the iteration? I've lost track. 7, 8? I don't even know.
I think it's no, I think it's more like 9 or something.
9.
Like that. Yeah.
9.
But yes, in near Atlanta, just on the
Sonata.
outskirts of Atlanta.
Yeah.
And we'll try to do a live segment from there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how that works.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to that. I haven't been to that festival in a long time and can't make it this time, but glad to see it through your eyes and whatever video you can share with us. So, okay. Until next week, remember, it's not old.
It's retro.
Okay.
Oh, we were talking about the display thing. So yeah, here's what I've got for several of my systems. I need to do a few more, but yeah, it's just a little kind of almost like you'd see in the store, showing the stats on the like in this instance though, I've got a little bit of history on
there's
the
a lot
whole
packed in there.
yeah. I really need to put these online too, in case anyone else ever wanted to try to.
I think you shared it with me or something, or you were going to, because I was going to use that maybe as my format.
Yeah, I mean it's nice. It's nice having that. It's kind of nice pretending it's almost like a little mini museum in here.
Right. Yeah. Every time I think about writing stuff down, I think, well, usually when people come here, I'm with them, and that's what am I going to do? That's what I say everything.
Take them around, show them stuff, give them stories. Yeah.
But
we had it was but a couple of years ago now, we had a friend of ours brought their daughter and her Girl Scout troop through. And it was kind of neat. We showed them the upstairs.
They do a camp out up there.
Yeah, I started a few computers on fire, and they roasted marshmallows. It was fun. Of course, we showed them the upstairs first before taking them downstairs to the arcade games, because
they would never leave the downstairs.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks Thanks again, everyone, for joining us in the chat. So nice to have the interaction. And we'll be back next week. Anything else we need to talk about? I don't know.
Nothing on my end. No.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing that book with us. After seeing the inside of that thing, it makes me tempted to go ahead and try to buy one of those just to have one on hand. Because it's just all the information that's inside those things.
Don't buy one for $30.
Cool.
I'll give you one of mine. I got a dozen of them.
All right. Well, very nice of you.
For you, $28.
Buy it now.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening to the RetroMacCast with James and John. Email listener comments and questions to retromaccast@gmail.com or post comments on our website at www.retromaccast.com.